Parents set boundaries. Overscheduling harms mental health and
I would
development.
kind of cry inside and I would
Yeah.
laugh. But then when she saw the schedule filling up, she was like, oh. But moms and people overschedule their kids. They can't do
Yes.
10 things at once. Can you speak on that a little bit and maybe protecting boundaries? Kids need boundaries, young teens need boundaries, adults need boundaries.
Well, I think, first things first, kids learn from us. Everything our kids do, it's learned behavior. Well, where are they learning it from? They're learning it from you. They're learning
Hmm.
it from you, and then they're learning it from the people that they're exposed to, right? Whether it's family members, whether it's school, whether it's, extended family, right? It's all learned behavior. And so it is important that you model appropriate boundaries. You teach them
Hmm.
appropriate boundaries. I am a very big advocate that that obviously we all want our kids to make good friendships, but we all know kids come from different forms of life. And so, you know, when they come in and, they're struggling with something, and I'll just use kind of this friendship space in terms of boundaries to kind of explain, I really try to say, hey, listen, I'm not going to tell you that you can't, be friends with this person, but these are some things you should look out for, right? It seems like this person may be taking advantage of maybe the situation, and just kind of shed that light, challenge their perspective, right? They're little human beings. Granted, if it's a unsafe environment, I'm definitely stepping in as a parent. However, they do have to learn how to problem solve. They do have to learn how to um, go through conflict and have conflict resolution. And so, as a parent, it is important to be able to guide them in the right direction. Don't just shut it down. Oh, if they do something, beat them up, or if not, just leave them in the dust. No, like, teach them how to have conversations. And that's also a part of why the younger generation doesn't know how to have appropriate, social skills with one another. So it's interesting. I want to ask you, how in the setting, in the vehicle, how do you create a space that is thriving for your drivers, if they're coming, like I'm talking about, these kids are coming all different walks of life? How do you chameleonize yourself, to be able to create a space like that for them within the vehicle?
First, thank you for keeping it real. And what I've learned is, first in the beginning of my career, I wasn't very honest. The kid would make a horrible mistake. I would say
Yeah.
it's okay. But 3 or 4 or 5 years into my career, I said, we're going to have a crash. We're going to have a mistake. So I started just being honest. And
Mm-hmm.
once you start having a family, you think about your kids. And if
Yeah.
this adult or teen makes a mistake, I won't return home.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I try to, I've tried, and you had an opportunity to kind of see me in action.
Mm-hmm.
I try to use this driver's ed moment, whether it's adult or teen. This is going to be you driving to work. This is going
Yeah.
to be you coming home in traffic. This is going to be
Mm-hmm.
you in rush hour. This is going to be you when you feel crappy. And I
Right.
try to transform that teachable moment into a life moment. So you've got to focus on your mental health and safety in the car. Um, I've learned to allow them to make mistakes gracefully.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
Yes.
go through a early yellow light, not a late yellow light,
Right.
because if they get comfortable around the yellow lights, we're going to get killed.
Right.
I show them and want them to learn from their mistakes. We're going to the curb, but we can't hit the curb. It's kind
Right.
of like us letting our son and daughter learn how to ride a bike. They're going to fall down three or four,
Mm-hmm.
five, 10,000 times,
Absolutely.
but on that 11,000 time, they're going to learn how to drive. In,
Absolutely.
in a car, I try to control the dangerous variables. We keep our
Mm-hmm.
speed up because if we're under speed, we're going to slam brakes or run a light. If we are too angry or emotional, we're going to lose focus. So I try to keep them in a zen
Yeah.
or chilled emotional state. And you have some background because you've seen me in action.
Mm-hmm.
But I try to keep things positive. I have the air conditioning on to keep it cool. If I
Mm-hmm.
see a client getting nervous or sweating or gripping the wheel, I tell
Mhm.
them to relax. If they're losing focus, we get out and take a mental break.
Mhm.
I've started looking more at their nonverbal behaviors.
Yep.
Now, I have to
Mhm.
watch the car.
Mhm.
I see you, but I gotta see what's happening in front, what's happening
Around
to
you,
the
yeah.
left. I have a mirror, I have a brake. I have to protect our space because I find today in 2025, people are in a hurry, they're selfish, they're
Mhm.
pushing crazy time limits. They're going 70 and a 35 on the
Mhm.
freeway. Look, the average speed is 77. If the speed limit is 65, they're going 77. If the speed limit is
Yes.
70, they're going about 85. So we're in the middle lane, we're in the right lane.
Mhm.
There are a lot more social media tools out there, such
Mhm.
as on Scene TV, there are photojournalists that go to accident scenes and just video. That has
Mhm.
been very helpful. Me
Mhm.
being truthful and honest, looking at crash statistics around the
Mhm.
country, around in our area, not trying
Mhm.
to scare them,
Mhm.
but trying to teach them. And what I do, and stop me when you're ready, I tell them, "Hey, you know you gotta get a job. Wink, wink.
Mhm.
Hey, does your brother or sister have a job?
Mhm.
Yeah." So when we go get gas in the car, I fill
Mhm.
the car up. "Hey, this is $20. Let's
Right.
go in together. Let's pay the
Mhm.
person. I wanna show you how to put gas in the car." And for many
Mm.
kids,
I
so
love
I'm
that.
showing them that responsibility, showing them
Yeah.
how to check the oil, the windshield
Yeah.
wiper blade,
Yeah.
um, teaching them those small micro
Mhm.
moments.
Mhm.
And then I always report back to mom. Like if I was driving your son, we would drive in the neighborhood making
Yep.
5 right turns, 5 left turns. I would say,
Right.
"Hey, what does your mom do for a living?